Here now, though, to fill us in on what's currently going down in Israel. He's a geopolitical analyst and one of the men who helped to usher in the Abrams Accords with President Trump, our friend, Harley Lippman. Harley, you know better than I, so I don't know if I got that right, wrong. That's our research from some articles reread. What in the heck's going on this fight over judicial power and civil rights in your homeland?
It's funny you ask whether you got it right or wrong. I was thinking in my mind, you nailed it.
Oh.
Actually, it was an excellent analysis, if I may say. But what's going on is you're seeing democracy in full bloom. Democracies are messy, and you have 700,000 Israelis in the streets with a population of only 6 million. That's a staggeringly high number of people who really care about what's going on. So what's happening, as Dan pointed out, is the present government, which is the most right-wing government Israel has ever had, and it's a very, very religious right-wing government, wants to be able to take the judiciary and put it under the executive branch. This would, in essence, make Israel no longer, the judiciary is independent now, Dan, but it would no longer make it independent if that went through.
Okay, I can see why people are upset on both sides of that, because you're a very, obviously, faith-based religious country, as you should be. You're the Holy Land. So I would assume millions of residents want it to go that way, and some of the younger generation probably don't. Let me ask you about, as so many other world leaders have called him affectionately, Bibi, Benjamin Netanyahu. He was out of office. Your people brought in a more liberal PM, and he was only in for how many months? And then they booted him and brought Netanyahu back.
Right.
That didn't last long. I mean, that says something right there. No, it didn't.
No, basically, most of the parties in Israel are right of center. It's quite interesting. Israel is a conservative place, but it's a little different from the United States in that conservatives in Israel look to government to do things for their citizens in a way that's a little different from the United States. But what's so interesting is that Bibi's party, the largest party, called the Likud, which is a right-wing party, even most of those people are against this change because, again, Israel will no longer be the democracy that we know of it. But the arguments of the religious right are the judiciary is way too powerful. They pick their own successor. So they perpetuate this power, and they are left of center. It's the last vestige of left-wing power in Israel.
And so we got to keep in mind in the States, too, you guys go about appointing those judges, if you will, to your Supreme Court way different than us. And so you're saying they've controlled it to where everyone they put in is far left. And so they're able to push that agenda. I got it. I totally got it. Almost out of time, but I got to ask you this one real fast, Harley. These attacks, usually we're hearing about them coming from Hezbollah, off the Gaza Strip, Hezbollah or Hamas or something. Now you've got Syria and Lebanon and others getting involved, firing in rockets. Few seconds left. What's going on there?
They're joining forces. Now, for the first time, Hamas in Gaza are being aligned with Hezbollah in Lebanon. They're firing rockets out of Lebanon, and only if Hezbollah agreed to it and Iran agreed to it. So basically, Israel's being ganged up upon by 4 groups that want to destroy it, and they're being more strategic and they're being more unified against Israel.
Is the Biden regime giving any support to our best ally in the nation? If Trump was in charge, I wouldn't ask this question, but I got to ask it. Last one.
It's the question. The United States is kind of pulling back from the Middle East.
Of course.
That's the problem. It's an overreaction from George Bush, who went too far.
Of course.
His whole foreign policy was Middle East, Iraq, Afghanistan, a Palestinian state. And this is all now a reaction where people are feeling, and it's an overreaction. They don't want to be involved in anything. We need to strike the right balance.
Well, Trump did that, and you helped him do that with the peace accords over there. So thank you for that. Harley Lippman, as always, pleasure to have you on the program. Take care, sir.
Take care.
Yep.
So long.